Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. Another really exciting video for me because there are three highlighted pieces that I've been craving forever that I finally got in over the last few days. One of them came in about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So that moved me one slot closer to completing that collection. So with only three figures to look at today, or three carded figures, it's not a big video, but it is a holy grail video for me, and you know how much these type of videos mean to me and mean to my personal collection. So I just want to dive right in and immediately get to the first figure we're going to take a look at. So this first one comes from Mikey Mojo on eBay. I've talked about him plenty. Mike Motica, one of my favorite sellers. This is a man that will work with his customers to make sure that, they get a fair deal and that, he's able to make a sale and know that it's going to a good home as well. So, I've talked about my WWF LJN collection. And I'm not talking about loose figures. We're talking simply carded figures, right? There's about 5 figures that I'm missing. Now, 2 of them, the white shirt and red shirt Hulk Hogan from Series 5 on blue card, the original release, I don't have those. But I do have them both on black card re-release in 1989. So can I separate that and say that I do have them carded? To an extent, sure. But I still want them on blue card, right? I'm also missing a blue shirt referee. But here's another deal. I have the white shirt referee on card. Do I need the blue shirt? Not really, but I'm still considering it to be a piece missing. So I still need that one as well. One of the other figures that I was missing was a Davey Boy Smith on individual card. It took me forever to get Dynamite Kid, so Davey Boy, obviously, probably one of the hardest ones to find of this bunch. But we'll see what happens as the weeks, months, and years progress, because my goal is always to complete this collection first and foremost. The last one that I needed for the collection was Purple Skirt Elizabeth. Once again, I could say I have Gold Skirt Elizabeth. Do I need Purple Skirt on card? Theoretically, no. But it's like the SD Jones figures, right? You have a blue shirt, you have a yellow shirt. I consider them to be 2 brand new figures, or 2 separate figures. I don't consider them to be like necessarily variants per se of each other. So when you look at the skirt, yeah, that one accessory change or that color change makes all the difference in the world. And I've always said Elizabeth to me was nothing more than kind of like a Barbie doll figure. I don't really classify her as one of the worst LJNs ever because I kind of put her on a different pedestal than I do the rest of the figures. Managers and wrestlers, I kind of put them all together. But as a Barbie doll figure, I kind of like, I don't feel one way or the other really about it, but to get a purple skirt loose is about a $300 figure, so, roughly, maybe a little bit more nowadays. But to get this carded, incredible. And as you will see, it's just basically the exact same background that you get from a gold skirt Elizabeth with the same bio card and whatnot. So the only thing that really changes is, the purple skirt. Now, the purple skirt that I have loose was a custom skirt, so it's a clear, obvious, customization of that skirt. It's nothing authentic looking like this. So, to have this carded, so glad to have it. Mike, you are the absolute best, man. I appreciate it. And you want to know why I hold Mike in such high esteem? Okay, let's look at the rundown. Purple skirt Elizabeth. Both individual cards of the Heart Foundation. Huge Holy Grail pieces. What else did I get from him? I think I got the Andre the Giant and Ultimate Warrior from him as well. Unbelievable. My mind is blown about those 2 figures. So, absolutely super glad to have met him and to be able to I guess sculpt him of his collections. But he knows it's going to a good home. That's someone who's really going to love and appreciate these items, not as just simply collectibles, but as art. This is my art. I've always said that, and I always will probably feel that way. So that is Holy Grail piece number 1. Number 2. Now, are they Holy Grails or are they just Grails? Meaning something that I personally want, but they're not as rare. I don't know. For me, they're my Holy Grails. So, this one came from another awesome seller, Nathan, and I was so excited to get this. And I am now finally able to complete the carded Series 4 with Jimmy Garvin and Razor Ramon Scott Hall. Just simply Scott Hall. He's not Razor Ramon yet. Now, you guys saw that the other 3 figures, the other 3 carded grudge match figures, when you walk down my stairs into my basement, it's like right there flashing at you right in the front. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this lined up right next to them, but this is one of the biggest acquisitions of my collection, of my Rumco collection. Series 1 complete, as you can see right behind me. Series 2 complete. Series 3, bigger card, so I had to put them over there with the rest of the LJNs carded. And my 4 sets of grudge match figures are going to be up on the wall near the stairs when you come down the stairs. And what I really love about this as well, I don't know if you can make it out, but each figure is signed by the wrestler. Is this 100% mint? No. I think Nate was a little bit concerned about that. I'm like, look, bud, I'm not the biggest stickler in the world for, card condition. Would I love every single carded figure that I have to be 100% perfectly mint? Absolutely. But that's unrealistic. So, some guys that I kind of make a big fuss over, like I talked about the Jimmy Snuka, and there was like the smallest increment of bubble lift right at the bottom of his feet. The smallest increment. You could literally put some glue on your finger, rub it around the bam, and seal it, and it's perfect. He sent that back. It cost me a $500 sale because it had a little bit of a lift on it. I'm like, are you nuts? Everything else about that card was perfect. So, now he tells me that, this was a little bit of lifting. I'm like, hey, tape it up with some packing tape, some glue, I don't care. If you could ship it to me like that, that's perfectly fine. There was one buyer or one seller on eBay I've been watching for a while, and he had them listed for about $500. The most money I ever spent on grudge match figures were, I think, $365 if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty much where I'm at, $350, $365 range. And every time I send him an offer, and I even gone up in my offers, and he had kept declining. I'm like, no counter offers, just decline. I'm like, okay, fine. You're telling me that you have no interest in selling this item. So I found another seller, and I got a great price from him, and I think I got it for around that price. That $365 I was comfortable with. And the fact that the card to me is just fine. You got some dark marks, some spider veins, some creases, but my mind is blown. To me, this is a fantastic card. I don't think he had any worries whatsoever with this. I'm thrilled to get the grudge match duel of Scott Hall, Jimmy Garvin. Incredible. And as you guys know, in Series 5, the only carded Matt Mania figure I had was Doug Summers. So the reality of me ever completing Series 5 is probably highly unlikely. I think Boris Zukov and I think the Barbarian, for example, I think those guys are probably hovering around $2 or $3 grand on card. Realistically, I talked about in the past, guys our age. So think someone in the 35 to 50 range right now. Those are the guys that are going to be interested in buying something like that. I think there's about a 10-year window where sellers have to sell these items for a hefty price, because 10 years from now, that price you're trying to get $3 grand on for Barbarian, for example, you're going to end up selling it for $200 10 years from now because nobody's ever going to buy it. I'm patient and I like money, so I could hold off on it because I still want to complete the collection, no doubt. But having loose figures are fine. Even if some of the loose are customization, that's fine. They look like the original, so I'm glad with that. The last figure I got in, and this is, like I said, another Holy Grail piece for me. Probably one of the most important figures outside of, let's say, Undertaker with Cloak, Series 8 figure. So, getting this figure in right here makes me so mad that Dusty Rhodes on Mercari was a scam. Because if I had gotten that Dusty Rhodes, my carded Hasbro collection would be complete right now. So I did pick up this figure, and it is, he does have like a little certificate of authenticity, and in his listing he had, pictures of, Bret Hart signing it and whatnot. As you can see, it is signed by the Hitman himself, which is fantastic. Getting in any Series 8 card is pretty expensive. So, trying to think. I think Undertaker and I think Bret Hart Series 8 are the two figures that, outside of like a Dusty Rhodes, is probably the most expensive figure on card. I'm trying to think if there's any others. I mean, yeah, you got your Series 11 1, 2, 3 kid. Maybe Purple Crush Series 11 might sell for more. Purple Crush, I mean, all of those figures really should, by the market standards, they should be about $300. I've been trying to sell my Atom Bomb for a million years, no luck. And I've even lowered it to like $175 and no takers. And when I was buying, I mean, even loose, Atom Bomb was going for over $300 on a consistent basis. So I don't understand why I can't sell a carded Atom Bomb. But with this acquisition of Bret Hart, in my opinion, the number 2 greatest Hasbro figure of all time. Kind of neck and neck with the Series 3 Ultimate Warrior. I think the fact that I had a Series 4 Bret Hart as a kid, I'm more familiar with the playability and had a lot more enjoyment from that over a period of time, so that means a lot as well. But Series 8 Bret Hart is added to the collection. Once again, all I'm missing is Dusty Rhodes on card. Hasbro is complete. And I'm getting there, guys. I'm super close. With Purple Elizabeth, that's one figure down. Again, Davey Boy Smith on individual card. Just kind of looking down the line real quick. White and red shirt Hogan, not on black card, but on blue card only. And blue shirt referee. So those 4 figures are what I'm missing. And yeah, the 2-packs, I'm probably never going to get any of the additional 2-packs. Based compared to what I have now. I have Hogan and Hillbilly. I have Volkov and Sheik. And I have the tag team of the British Bulldogs. But like, the Hart Foundation on 2-pack is like a $5,000 card or box set. That's not going to happen. The Killer Bees and Strike Force are probably $3,000 to $4,000 figures in package. I mean, we're talking about trying to win them on auction. That's what they go for. So that's probably never going to happen either. The prices on those are going to have to dramatically decrease. So if I want to throw additional figures at you, I do have 2 out of 3 Jimmy Harts carded, and I only have the clean-shaven Corporal Kirchner on card. Do I really need those variants? Not really. They're just nice to have. Lou Albano, I have both of his variants with red and without red. So, Junkyard Dog, I have his red chain. Do I ever want to get the other 2 chains? Eventually, maybe. Over time, possibly. But that's not like high priority or anything. That's like very far down my list. But because that's just well, here's the thing though. If I say purple skirt and orange skirt Elizabeth are 2 different figures because of the change of color, you would think that yes, 100% I gotta get the other 2 variants of Junkyard Dog. Yes, I have all of them loose, which is great, but I would love to get the black chain and the silver chain mint on card as well. So I'm trying to think what other variants I might be missing. As far as skin tone or change of like mustache or pants for like Ventura, no. I'm not focusing on that. That's not that important. Dark red boots for Roddy Piper, maybe. But not really. Like I said, I have all of these variants loose. That's fine. You know, how often are you going to find a carded, plain yellow trunks B. Brian Blair, right? So, I mean, outside of the re-releases on Black Card, which aren't mandatory, but yeah, if I ever see Big John Studd or Ted DiBiase or Elizabeth, Macho Man, etc. on re-release Black Card, I'm going to go for it to the best of my ability, but right now I'm not like actively searching for those, and I don't know if they even exist anymore. There's one guy on YouTube that has all of those cards. He has them all signed, which is mind-blowing, but yeah, guys, this was a really fun video. Super excited to get those figures in. Some amazing sellers, and I can't thank them enough for selling these to me and whatnot. And to Mike, of course, so many Holy Grail items have come from him, and I always feel like thank you just isn't enough. Guys, that is going to complete this video today. As always, thank you for watching, and if you know of any Holy Grail items that I might be interested in being sold out there that I'm not familiar with, please let me know, because, God, I want to jump on that as quickly as possible. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll talk to you later.